kurikiria rito ni KATHURE wa MBURUGU bire vingi bibitite na mbere kuruania Kenya bakiurika thira Beyond Vision 2030 gatwika ya Kenya kana kira Kenya be expected take meet expectations ciao ko tuko ya natwa ni otumete kuthura tukigwatanira na mugeni wetu ndene studio cyo tukiri kwariria buria we akona monere cioe kethira iri noguni kana itikoreto guni kana kuri na mantu ekareta mugaruruku kiri thiguru ya Kenya mugeni wetu ntuko ya naru ankomba kuthura nkimwakanya mbe kuthura agikethania na riwo mbe kuthura introduce na kinya kwariria anini bere tutirambiria buria akona ikari karibu sana.
Thank you so much Madam KATHURE. And thank you again kiri management ya Meru Tv na kimutagiro Meru TV kuona is important we have this conversation na the night ira president arete this conversation speech ira have this first conversation ntaoche that speech that night ndaugire tiga nkamitega pamentega reactions of Kenyans. I came to watch the video the following day around saa 9 jioni and I feel batwi itutete njira na tutete njira za Kenya na twarega ku catch up thai twichokia ira amuru buga chokia roje mugero tukaura kiri butegiro Meru TV mbito Dennis KIMATHI ndi mutangira antu babethi na ndona bumbitite political economist those papers rafa mpere ndi school but Madam KATHURE they headed in the right direction. Not to one, as I said again, we are having the wrong conversation. Not to, first of all, Vision 2030, Vision 2030 to a loosely track a very long time ago. No corner. Number two, it had to solve problems the wrong way. No corner. Quick example, kwenda kuwezana. Ntigiri geta mwitone. Kinyega kwa migire Meru itumba kwa irengi to athere itumba kwa ndugui teu na ndi batu atu kwa kantigiri rangi tukenda ya ndugui itumba kwa ndugui.
Karibu sana ku kire ugepo ako tegwetekanire na Vision 2030 Beyond Vision 2030
ndauwa ngethwa nkiara yorongo lakini itupatete kwamba mbere tuambe to have an honest conversation the third president of this country and very Vision 2030 kuna bantu jekiri in the vision of 2030 a lot of them we have not achieved. I've seen one of my friends yesterday akiwa to about 60 me only komenya 35% nukoona because of one simple reason wenyo mpaka ku wamba kukura irio kanikira tugura igiru nirio. Thank you. Nande problems ira tuina chio as a country to solve even half of them in the right way nukoona so kama tukomba kuambiria kwariria mtu ja vision ya Beyond 2030 let us have an honest conversation tukarende to the an audit of Vision 2030 tukarende with honestly all of us nukoona and I feel because the president is we are to headed towards the elections and the president is not guaranteed that he will be the president next year. I think we should leave the conversation here Beyond 2060 to the next government in their beginning of their term. But for now, the best thing that this government can do for us that is honest and just is a review of our, let us do an audit of our debt. Let us do an audit of all the infrastructures that we have built in this country. That price ya kujenga one infrastructure is doubled. So that now we have room for corruption. Nukuona? Kodo tukava conversation ya Beyond unte koleka vision ya Beyond 2030 have personally I am into that. Now I'm in support of we should have that conversation but not now. For now conversation is urgent audit. Let us know how did we get to 12 trillion debt. Now just as I said kinterviewing to halini acha what have we built, what have we achieved with 12 trillion. Bere tu unveil another project to ambira go take new loans na funding na tia kwere uma Madam KATHURE today the government wants to receive funding from the international funders to fund a project, to fund a vision that is a project election.
Nkonete ikiarirwo mono werwa kuri nina kuchanyo katika IMF na kinya Rais Ruto no tuatamit expectation ira by expected kiriwe.
And tia kwere gintu kimwe. IMF are not our friends. IMF ambere ya Kenya na Arua na Meru. IMF ti achore betu. IMF bakweja irandu bakwira na ndi kwera ndu bitakwa. Country re fund IMF United States of America. IMF obicha United States of America iri. Nukuona? Interest ya IMF, interest ya people. Interest of hegemons ja United States of America and China and other bodies. Nukuona? Na ndi in the first place that kuna conversation between Kenya and IMF na Arua ikumaanisha bado ijare tiankwire kintu Kathure. Mukuru ku nje kondo guri no goro gatwira mukuru kwa ketha kwi mtu umweza irandurwa bura nyama lakini condition ciawe ni ejo tukubunde aburi boko bitano za family nukona ni una IMF bakari ija mukuru kwa werandu agero ugatwa kugura nyama wakunja na inyangu je Christmas twakugurira endo kinyogoro ukamba kuba ikanti bondo aburi boko bitano so IMF ti achore betu nukona na vision yetu ya 2065 kana 2060 ubakwenda kuwikira that is not our vision.
Okay. President arombere kudura kiari kirintu kwa national conversation day araugire beyond vision 2030 isete toria antidote ya kusolve long running challenges tiraji bambeta kudura bya kurukira akiuga plan ni gutigila blueprint yeje ekomba kudura igikaria a national future generation kinya weyabera obishine ekomba kwethirwa ekiserve for long na gutigira niko protect kinya akenya para bakethirwa bari in the next future kana years to come.
Let me ask you, Madam Kathure. We have almost 80% unemployment in this country.
Yeah.
Unaona? This government has been in office for 4 years. Unaona? Under this government, the only company that was manufacturing vehicles in the country called Mobius was closed down under this government. Sawa. Under this particular same government, the rise of importation of food, especially our staple food which is maize, it may rise by over 18% under this particular government. Agriculture is our backbone. Uteki nto gitiumbo okura hata turi in our country nukuona na ndi thirikari they have shown no single interest to solve long term problems. Let me ask you today, how many people in government have been mentioned within corruption scandals? Every MP in this country receives 190 million and above every year for CDF and other infrastructure. Nukuona under Vision 2030 tokeambire Vision 2030 when you are launching Vision 2030 under Moi Kibaki, education was free. Nukuona kids were being fed in school. Nukuona na ndi turenda kwethia Madam Kathure turenda kwethia problems cha Kenya, they lie in lack of good visions, but where else they lie in lack of good governance, lack of and then meta creativity syndrome. A government who but in a really framework to solve our problems jetu ni unemployment, problems jetu is food shortage because the cost of farming has gone high. Today urewa mbewe thirikari na mbewe ire kuroketha mpembe ire uteandaka ire few years ago wenda ukaketha mpembe ukaweka ngunia monyomba season hiyo ingeja ukachwa muturi onture ngipo ukachenchania mpembe ukanda mbewe au tukanda yetu nukuona that was sustainability, that was working. Now they have destroyed all the sustainability frameworks, but nandi kutwikira ndaigwa deputy president defending into concept to gweta shiny things. We are not interested in shiny things. Tiankuri Madam Kathure, we are talking about affordable housing, which was one of the biggest conversation under Vision 2030. Where is the essence ya kwethwa simiti eruma 300 simiti epathere kuma simiti uma 300 shillings per bag 800 shillings per bag too. Now if you are talking about affordable housing, see but we lower the cost of cement ndio kila Mkenya ombe kuchia kila nyombewe, that now is affordable housing. Lakini ande thirikari tide simiti at 800 na ande twakira nyomba chitomba ku how many people can the government build? If Kadhure, we have 80% unemployed. We have 20% employment percentage in Kenya. Now, kodhian to 20% ba andikwi. And 20% ba kwamba kuita mpecha enough gesara recharge wa kiranto 80% of the country. Mea atukuwa the whole wrong conversation. Na thirikari rienda ba tutwariria mantu. Chatu tuteria. Nukuona where else issues ire ba tukurukira. Tukiariria mantu ja affordable housing. Tukiariria mantu ja health care. Tukiariria mantu ja health care today. We are talking about right now as we are seated here. Almost all the counties in Kenya wauguzi wamepenja. Counties chana za Kenya daktari na nurses ipakomete. Now, which vision Kadhure are we having about if the immediate problem tutomba kudha tuna responsible enough to solve the immediate challenges to nature. So when the president says is to help the future, president, we don't do to help the future. Solve problems. That's not high problems. That's not unemployment. How do you solve unemployment? You solve unemployment by lowering taxation down to bomba ku invest. Today Kadhure uko weta dai kurugura a company in Kenya to register a limited company. Utera mbira guitanguge, utera base the idea, utera kira capital. You need over 30,000. Kenda uko weta kera ki Huduma Center pa kwa certificate anga chake ya rea, anga chane ma, anga chambi. No kuona. Now uko ina idea ego solve unemployment for almost 10 people in your locality. Yeah. Why is the government bullying you? Nekidrikari uko inyire uko teka solve employment yantu 10 lakini ande ambiro tu na ande to have a discussion about to solve unemployment. Which unemployment are we solving if Kadhure kurugura biashara have you run a business? Kanchupe za kapa tumwi. You have opened a business 3 months ago. The government wants you to give them 75,000 shillings. Cost ya nyombere high. Cost ya kwaka nyombere high, which means rent is high. Cost into is high because cost of fuel is high. Kwa hivyo even your profit margin yonke tumba kule rent. Alafu na ndikari ni kwa ndandupa na ngira ngirimo kwanja just certificate yange tax yange mbi. No kuona problems yetu division Kadhure. Ombere angalia moro kinandura. Challenges yetu conversation ye visions. Challenges yetu Kadhure wena antu in the government who don't want to solve the real problems. Barenda kupenda kusolve daikiro mtoma you cannot solve the area by stitching the annas.
Areno tunokuba Kadhure kyariria mantu ja thirikari tukwenda ku solve the issues na baritegera mantu ja vision 2060. Let's look on the part of agent and to kwarira tukwenda run beyond the vision 2030. Let's not accuse the government tutegere na ndipo mbito Kadhure baki propose. Looking back kana tukitegera bwanyuma vision 2030 atombe tutegena vision 2030. Vision 2030 ki introduce ani kitwa the major pillars. Ila chumbete Kadhure chirio by 2030 chumbete Kadhure chikirikirwe. So far, what are the same major pillars ko chumbete Kadhure ikirikirwa for now? Tuitegera social pillars, economic pillar and political pillar. In the three niri kumbete Kadhure ikirikirwa niri kumbete Kadhure itigeri behind ekokuchia vision 2030 nyuma.
Tia kuri something Kadhure. Tubatere batu kwaria ndikwenda twari na terminology ndito no kuona ndikwenda tukara jakari ndikwenda tukara jaka tukwaria mandu ya outside this planet.
Okay.
Twarie mandu ya ground yaja. Let's talk about the social state. Social state, we have achieved the social space. Social space is itombeta ku make ku live together. We have been able to tolerate one another. When vision 2030 was being decided, to have that conversation on the backlog of an almost failed civil society. 2007, 2008, our civil structures almost crumbled. So some of those challenges inspired the social place. Social work is near to raia. Sisi raia tumejifunza kuishi pamoja. ukabili imeisha, ukabila etiki na ntubara bere kiri thirikari no kuona ibonga batiki besela tugawane mulima tugawane hii tugawane ile ingine, but for us the Kenyans juzi nimeona Aluya having an interest in vying for the political seat around Meru, and I'm happy about that. Only happy about that. Social space about to run to live together. We have learned to relate to one another. But even under that social space, some of the pillars of the social spaces come education, we have failed miserably. We have failed. No kuona kintu kiambere tia mpati kintu education kidogo about a program called Ukonambi Ketempike t-shirt and Kwisana Art Clubs. I've been really working close na institutions kile to bring up clubs to bridge the gap between the vision of the art industry na the education curriculum. But the CBE system is system yapatere kudo equipa our kids, introduce our children kire interaction with, kama we are talking about music, interact with the keyboard, interact with the guitar, interact with the bass trainer. If you're talking about ICT, interact with the computers. You're talking about games, interact with the sports alley. Lakini in the same space kwe mwana dai ukotana rungura mote. Mwana ozo akaru interact na laptop ule in the first ada laptop ni mbali. Mtozo mwana akaru interact na electricity. Kwe mwana dai ukoritana ICT agichorerwa computer kivaone. Ukona? So in social space, sisi kama raia we have done our part, which is we have learned how to relate to one another. We have this mara ya mwisho ilisikia Al-Shabaab attack ilikuwa ni sindio, because now even the people, even our brothers in the Christian space, our brothers in the Muslim space, tumelearn kuishi pamoja. Unaona utoa kufosa ongea worship Mungu ongea, everybody has able to learn their need. But now let me come to my biggest concern, which is economics and politics. Our politicians have gotten worse. Because if we can have a person in the level of a president calling people who share a different ideology from him Fala, Jinga, if you could have politicians in the opposition, a politician and hold a microphone and you wonder, is it a leader speaking ama ni mwenda wazimu tumeokota tukavalisha suti? You see what I'm saying? So our politicians are still continuing to insult our political space. But I'm so happy because of the generation we are, Gen Z. Sisi, we have been able to read in between the lines. Sisi tumeanza kuona katikati hizo vitu wanafanya zote, because I'm telling you, Kathure, our politicians hawananga anything against each other. Wanatakanga sisi kama raia tukae tukiwa divided ndio endelee kuturule. Let me shock you. Alafu ni move on. Let me shock you. Do you know that the strongest opposition party has funding from the government? It's being given money from the taxpayers' basket. So, okay, there's really nothing between these guys. Ni biashara kwao. But for us, is our future, is our livelihood. Wacha niongelele economy juu na bebe hizi vitu zote. We cannot talk about social and all those things without talking about the economy. Kathure, our economy has failed. Failed miserably. If you can buy an egg at 20 shillings, that rate of inflation, how did we get from 7 shillings, buying an egg from 7 shillings, all the way to everything that chicken needs to eat? Pale ile vitu wanatumia kutengeneza chakula ya kuku. Pale kwa Lake Victoria wanauza cheaply. Mahindi ambao inafaa kutengeneza maize bran iko hapa. Ile ngano tunataka iko pale. So the reason as to why cost of feeds ya kuku iko skyrocketing, si understand. Unaget? So my point is about the pillars of Vision 2030. We have not achieved. No. We have fallen below below the standards. And if we were to have an honest conversation, without our government looking for a way to find funding, for a way now to do public participation, to give handouts, because that is what they're doing. Wanataka kutengeneza a framework of giving handouts to Kenyans in the name of public participation. How many public participation have we done in this country? And nothing that we participated was done. The same government, we did personally attended a public participation where we were beaten. But the same particular government. We did a public participation on finance bill. Nothing was looked into. Everything that we said should not be done was done. Until we went to remove them in that parliament by force, to pull them out, to come out was Ipigi Okura. Until we did that. But even that, they found a way to maneuver and bring it back on table. Unaona? When Kenyans say, yo guys, hatutaki kukata mshahara mweke housing levy, juu hata hii pesa mnatupea tutoshi sisi. Public participation, we opposed that. They did it. So in the first place, what guarantee watatusikiza? Batatuthikira, bakathiro bathithia, bageta, batuite, baturithiente, tueje na speech, tueje na ideas, to present documents, to present ideas, arafu beta. O man tujera para intendete kutithia. Iko kondo kwera Kathure uti.
Lakini Rais Ruto na ugite these blueprints. Ikethero involve others.
Ijangana ugite.
Na people Kenyans.
Ijangana
children kenda ba participate akire kwande.
Tiangurie Kathure.
Vision 2016.
Tiangurie Kathure. Ngondo kule kule. Ijangana to participate in this country, all of us. So, mea angondo kule kintu kimwe Kathure. If somebody lies you once, lies to you twice. Mea nandinya Kenya batoto batufungana rimwe. Antu ba boto aire rambere, boto aire zairi, boto aire tatu, boto aire jana. Nandi turena pato aire tano. Na tuwethe nandi tuwethe nandi enyewe ija tukali ja desperate, za mwari desperate. Antu okagambo narua. Mtu aketa gushuni boko. Ukana kwenu akaja kwera ito my dear oni. Ninte karogo tonga, tuga tonda oni. Akeza gusamuro okairi, okana akwezera akwerencha. We are looking like that. And unless Kathure, unless we have an honest conversation about ourselves as a country. Story chone tukwaricha vision 2020 and beyond 2030. Kama menya tia ngure Kathure. Ukafeli kigero na tothithia. Kigerio. Ocho kaira. Thank you. The best option ingo chokera. We have failed. Let us do an audit. Audit to the audit. In the economically, we said we are not going to borrow beyond 35% of our GDP. Right now we are about 61. 9 shilling.
Audit. Did they a plan then what?
Audit. We don't need a plan to audit. We need to collect all the documents. We need to bring all the budgets. We need to bring all the papers. Put them on table and revise them. Uti plan toko need ku audit Kathure.
Okay, uko the audit yo yonekana kuri na debt nyingi. Uko the audit yo kuonekana kwembecha bando chitachoka nyingi. But our country needs that agenda, plan. Ya kumeka utomba kodoro ukiuga orienda kwa mtu fulani, whereas you don't have that plan.
Kathure, you cannot build a house on a broken foundation. You cannot build a house on a broken foundation. Our foundation carries space, having discussions, checking our spaces is broken. It's broken. Why? We have over 7 trillion of odious debt. Any debt we cannot account for. We don't know who borrowed. We don't know where it was borrowed. We don't know where it was used. We don't know where it was sent. It is just in public document. This is our debt. Is an ande gwere tu inerando tu bairi utona ngirombo yino ndarombo yino lekiri nandi tu inerando tu bairi adabro. So, tutumba wakanyomba on a broken foundation Kathure. Our foundation kiri, our structures is broken. And unless we are willing, which vision are we having about? Whose vision? Our children are dying in hospitals. Juzi mama kwa news, amezalia kwa street. Kwa roadside. A child in this country, of a woman in this country is born kwa roadside. Barabara ene, asa, jamaona ukuru. Then andi tukwambia kuanga vision 20 yanga vision zanga. Vision chia. Our kids today, our teachers are I have friends who are teachers, they are depressed. Arimobetu show up in schools simply because they love those kids. Otherwise, payment they are being paid pennies. Our police officers are being paid peanuts. Wanaishi kwa kikombe. Our infrastructure is lost. Na infrastructure yeje tu eneo lost. Tumeweka kwa budget na hiyo pesa hiyo barabara imetumika. Na hiyo barabara itatengenezwa. So what another vision are you having a conversation about? Kotha ito itire mbecha. Na ndi tuite mbecha cha kulipia laptop hizi, mbecha ito akunengere na mbecha chatumiro na laptop italipewa. Na ndi uture na ndi let's have a conversation au tumba ku build our ICT department. Uteambe na laptop hizi je kumbecha laptop hii.
Now, Vision 2030 girite kuthira. We need that extra Vision 2030 ethira. Tukiambiria 2031. Irekethro ikiambiria gutumika. We can't oppose this for government.
Vision 2030 jaisha. Vision 2030 imekuwa insulted.
It's 4 years.
To what? Vision was not a year. Vision was the growth and progress. Vision itali anga 2030 kinya itali 2030 kinya tuambire kwale mandu yangi 2030 kwale 2030 kinya tupatire kwa tuko achieve 1 2 3 4 5.
It was meant iki kinya 2030.
Yes.
Thegoro ya Kenya ithirwe kwa middle income economic.
Thank you. What is middle income and economic country? Middle income means Jana nimeona news. 65% of the young people between the age of 20 to 31, 65% they are surviving on borrowing money. Fuliza hapa, sikizi nasikia Fuliza is cash at hand. Fuliza hapa, a friend here, a parent there, we are Mukona.
Yeah, Vision 2030 already may achieve 61%.
Who said that?
Which is an
Who said that?
It's an
What was measured? What measured? Let's go to the, let's just be honest with each other. To all the numbers. Over 61%. 61%. In the first place, middle income, it means over 60% of the population should be earning an income which is above which is above $400 a day. No, which is about, is it 100? Yeah, which is about $100 a day. So this is about 13 what? About 13,000. So every Kenyan should be earning about 13,000. 60% of us and above should be earning at least 13% in a week. 13,000 in a week. Sindio? If now this, now tell me, KATHURE, you are living in this country. How many people are earning 30,000 and above in a month? How many? So hii 61 imetoka wapi? Bara wewe umetoka ushago, si ndio? Nikurudisha ushago.
61 iliumira aliko. 61 in terms of infrastructure.
Infrastructure, thank you. Tia tuchoke infrastructure.
Education sectors.
Pende lo support the gari. Otamu tangoge yango ire.
1%.
Yango ire. Acha mkutano, acha town tiu. Ndina tumeaza. Tumea tutare bypass cha Meru ningana tiu. Bypass cha Meru. Bypass cha Meru about kuna bypass ye krokiri te aturi. Kutona studio ni gwenua itiri. Ukiringa kone nyuma acha imalinya barabarene. Ukiringa kone kwina mambo ndando acha imalinya barabarene. Ukina magitembeni akwa ndambe. Imalinya iteri endo kwe ikamira mino. Kumare a materudi kwina mankabone technical iteri rolwa. Kwina miraza beisa wale. So in the infrastructure, even in Meru County, have achieved 61% of infrastructure development. Then we are building up affordable housing. In Yomberi, affordable housing as a Meru complete.
In the process.
In the process of what? Nyombe cha kwa mira chikuma nini? Chikuma ito wata Moses, vomita Moses kana my green nyombe chiku igala urairu. Look on. So to be honest, KATHURE, if young people, I'm telling you, 80% of the young people are unemployed. We're talking about economic empowerment. KATHURE, take conversation on bakwira mtu ena ampara. Mesto ulingi to waka ngato wake nyomba ngato wake barabara ngato lidiet. Anto pe nampara in the first place. Our agriculture died. Nugona. Our agriculture died. Baraba tige the agriculture don't baraba kompa go afford. I'm asking you a question. Here in Meru, as a mugutano, kuna half millers. Half millers used to contribute. Nilienda hapo the other day. Used to produce about 9 bags of unga, I think an hour or something, a few years ago. But it is down. It had employed over 150 people. They are home, unemployed. Meru Central nimeona wamecut down employees. Where is our people? Hatuku have 61% manyoya.
Tutegere tuone. Thirikari so far in the way of President William Ruto to go address the nation. Kiriko rugoria kana kwariria matuja beyond the vision 2030. Augire thirikari ni setete way kukinyira mibango yawe ya kwezi wande kuria ku generate kana kukira kiwango gya gwitwa Singapore. So from where you are?
Singapore.
Is a journey to Singapore a reality? Kumaneno romiona ukategera na ugiakiusi thirikari ndendo tega point of the transformation agenda
tiankwire kintu
ya generate the country.
Let me correct you. I have nothing against the government, and I said it that day nikiwa hapa. We are the government, so we are calling out ourselves. Iba tu ene thirikari nukuona tiankwire something about Singapore. Singapore kwanza Singapore is the size of Nairobi. The whole country says in Nairobi peke yake. Number two, when the first Prime Minister of Singapore came to power, he arrested every single person who has ever been involved with corruption in his country to bring them up to justice. Today, the people, juzi, fertilizer watu wamepewa mawe. Do you know what it takes kupeana the whole country? Mawe ikiwa imepakiwa kwa bags. Who did that? We don't know. All right? 2008, the whole Kenya Cereals Board was wiped out, clean. All the cereals. Where did they go? Unajua mahindi kuibiwa the whole country ni kumaanisha ni hiyo ofisi kwa hapa Cereals Board ile kwa maua ile ingine kwa timao ile ingine kwa nyuki. All the cereals stores, they were wiped out. Where did the maize go? We don't know. We have 7 trillion odious debt. Who copped? Where did it go? We don't know. So we are having about, if you're going to have a conversation about Singapore, let us look at the principles that Singapore was built on in the first place. Principles that Singapore was built on iriko. Mtore atoka eta auga atiri. If kintu kiroko produce, iko kwa consumed in our country. Ugo waliza wake kiwanda antubetu power in your company, pa producer to are producing. We are importing almost 70% of what we are using in the country. Patunya makuta chetu chera tukuita tuikia Malaysia. Masanja tu keda kidongo tulikia Japan. Kawa kaya tukara tukuita za nini? Asa antore na chetu na tulikia monga Brazil. Nukuona cotton yetu ni aurire. Nande yoku gatire Madam Kadure. Conversation ya beyond 2030 is not a bad conversation, but let us audit ourselves and the people when you're met to, because Vision 2030 ilikuwa funded, but Vision 2030 jana nkatatu ya tumekire. Everybody who stole even a coin of Vision 2030 tumweke ndani kwanza. Tuanze now. Wale wote Vision 2030 was supposed to be a sustainable agriculture. But upon the palette maiga nini maiga. Ito. Do you know there's something in the government? I'm not supposed to mention this on air, but in Teokera, there's something called National Intelligence Service. National Intelligence Service is everywhere. We have journalists who are NIS. We have mechanics who are ANIS. We have teachers who are NIS. The government is everywhere. So the government is sitting down and telling us that we don't know who brought millions of metric tons of stones packed in gunias in the name of fertilizers, and it was distributed by the Ministry of Agriculture. It was flagged off from the ministry. It was distributed by our local leadership. So in the first place, tuambe kwa tunataka kwenda Singapore. Tudio Singapore edirin kena toaria vision ya 2063 kadure ndela thirikari ambe ndio mtu wonde wanahusika na scandal ajiuzuru. Na mtu wonde wakawatika na scandal not take the rightful measures. Kaduri our government yongwa yetu ni odai. They are not ready for that conversation. We would rather be discussing an a useless conversation of a vision that we will never achieve. We will never achieve it. How are we going to achieve it if you have not sitting down to audit it? Where did we fail? If we have not asked ourselves, where did we fail? Inato agwirire njira neri inarujiro aterere njira. Tuchokie where tuchokera rujiro atere kuri mboro ina oro kugadire. Tuchokie njori ale kuri eta pakusa ni da kugadire. Tuchokie mboa. Nandi na nduga tuchokera twa ara tukona twaterere muruki. Twambe tuchokia umberema. To audit ourselves. To arrest a few of us. No go on. Some of them we are going to arrest. The other day, people were slaughtered. The foundation of our Nini was in respect to social justice. Our kids were slaughtered. My friends, my own personal friends were slaughtered. Who slaughtered them? We don't know. So the government should be answering some of these questions. But we already iranduri ratorof tukarente perema. To audit iranduri tumenyana tuakinya 12 trillion. No, I can tell you this without fear of contradiction, KATHURE. Uti project ye Kenya, uti into tuadida ke Kenya, ki wodi kudatu ni around 12 trillion. Uti kyo.
Hey, atori dina ni mutu kwanda tuwira mitambo. No kugamba. Turianiria mantu jigene na transformation agenda ya Rais Ruto. Arenda kumela na the constitution. Well, tegera ile ya vision 2030. It only involved the governments. Itare koreto ke kopaso kiwe constitution kwa sababu vision 2030 ya elvindiwe kana ya reto 2028 and constitution ya Kenya tuje ya 2010 so president thinks ko align transformation na the law ikareta outline njega and others ntukumenya taro in support of it, and if you are opposing it can you tell them Mutegeri Meru TV why you are opposing it?
Gure. We want to align the vision 2030 with the constitution. Have we respected that constitution in the first place? Bere mambere nya to ambira ko ali anga to align anga to connect re. Kati bobo ngoba ku to align that vision na constitution. Have they respected that constitution so far? This president who is the president today, in fact he was the biggest campaigner against this constitution. No, God, this constitution should not go. This constitution is wrong. This constitution is the worst. Today, he is campaigning for it. Wacha tuseme ameokoka. Aya. Now let's be honest. Okay. The preamble of our constitution. The preamble of our constitution is about the people. Power belongs to the people. Now, if the people told you, please, we don't want finance bill, and you slaughtered them for that. If the people told you that thing you're bringing, we don't want it because it is going to affect us. We are the people. He is not governing the country. As you have said, amesema ukweli akasema is about the people, not the government.
Yeah.
Ni sawa. It's not about the government. Sawa. It's about the people. These people, a year ago or two, they told you don't want what you're bringing to us. You slaughtered them. You didn't slaughter them. They were slaughtered. He was the president. Have you taken an initiative to give a directive for the people who slaughtered the young people to be brought up to book? If you are respecting the constitution of this country, why are you hijacking the most independent body called the legislature? Why do we have parliament confessing that they were bribed to pass certain motions in parliament? So we have not even respected that constitution. If we respect that constitution, let us first clean the insult that we have done to Katiba yetu. KATHURE tiangwire. I came today to tell you one thing. Beya na kukoronto omwe. Batwe tuterinde for a conversation beyond 2030. Mbere tukarande to audit vision yo to alinyo. The people baraba tumita achieve. If they did it against the law of bring up to book, constitution yo to kuga to respect. To ambere na ko respect independent bodies ikirite in place. No kona. The police force is an independent body. Ete patare ko receive a command from State House. No kona. To te patare ko tukiona people openly in daylight driving numberless vehicles Bakiza beshuta research iguru. We are not in Somalia. Numberawa. Tutumba ko tukia abantu. There are public videos. Si mulikuwa nazo kwa news. Antu baka janangari. TX te mwati jire tida totinya tidano. Bakrukira barabara ina police station, bakrukira barabara ina traffic, bakrukira barabara ina NTSA, bakrukira barabara ina National Intelligence Service, bakrukira barabara ina DCI, na bakeja bakira da mechinka. Heavy guns kama AK47 inaba itete. Kadhure tiankwire. And uone unkaria tutumba waka nyomba kiri foundation is broken. Foundation yetu is broken, tuambe tumiripe mbere. Nukuona? Tuambe tuare some of these old guys. Story fertilizer bring up to book. No ndrande. How do you know Kadhure? How do you know that 2060 euba kwenda kuikira? Ikomba kwa achieved. Nukuona? Kwa that itra achieve, netra achieve non tatu kwa resources. Irake to kwa achieved non to na people in parliament, people in power, people in position of influence. Baraba kuya resources, baku keep things to their own things. Conversion yebu ko tere mbere tukara anti to auditezi izi to alika nini oniki. Me to batare ku revise kigeli mbere to igie kingi kana. Okay. Ora angro adrikali unkwali.
Okwali oma.
Garo adrikali nani nkomba.
Mutegeri wa Meru TV atukomba kodro tukiumagaruka mitambone Dennis DJ kadara uri na bokuga
closing remarks. Closing remarks Kenyans na Meru tukirani na tugetekeria kujukoza mebire mbanu. Pau turanto bena akiri, turanto bena otombo, to demand accountability, to demand honesty. Na kwa to have a conversation build 2030. Won't do mereka actually. If you need me to speak about it in biteni. In the mbere mali. Iya 2030 ne kitu tera me achieve. Na kitu mi tutara me achieve le. Those challenges ile chombo tu ina tura wa achieve the next. Why have you not achieved? Niki hii itakinyanira, no ndu itakinyanira. Kinya tuko 61% hiyo ya uri, 41% iri kana 39% ine iri. No kuona lakini woni mete 30% ino ndo at least tumenya tutekorwa ntugo na tutekorwa na ukabira ngomia 30% raia. Lakini ri turena kuwikira beyond 2030. 2030 you have not achieved. Tuchuri twambe tuchoge kiureki niki tutira achieve. Na kiu gitumite turaga achieve ri kiombo turigira turaga achieve next.
Okay. Hai okugamba. Atumbe kodora tukimagaruka mitambone ngichokire tukadora tukigwatanira na ndagitari ura tukadora tukiarira mantu tikini na kubango ciari ko okebia mitambo kathiora mitambo na kwiraga wana Meru TV ukamenyaga kaniko kanyongo kaikenero bionde itoni Kathure wa MBURUGU.